The avatars have returned. That's the first line in Jonathan Cahn's latest thriller, and what follows that line does not disappoint.
Popular author Jonathan Cahn is also a Messianic rabbi and the founder of Beth Israel Worship Center in New Jersey. Cahn's consistent New York Times bestsellers have stirred worldwide interest in the end times since 2012. In his 10th and latest book, The Avatar, Cahn explains how ancient forces may be at play in our nation and the dangers they present.
Please welcome back to the 700 Club, Jonathan Cahn. It's wonderful to have you here.
Always a joy to be here.
What a book. So the title is The Avatar. For the sake of all of us being on the same page, describe an avatar.
An avatar is a person or entity that represents or embodies another person or being or entity. And the avatar, that's one of the mysteries, and there's so many. The avatar is going to really pull away a veil. The book's where what's happening now, everything behind, I mean, things are political events, cultural events. There is a mystery to it, and there's a spiritual realm, and there are forces. It's probably the most explosive book I've written, and we'll be able to give a glimpse. There's so much we'll be able to glimpse of, but that's a quick nutshell.
Well, I want to ask you, based on what you've just said, what does that mean to our world, to our culture today? Like, where do we fall into the process of that?
Yeah, well, the Bible says that we war not against flesh and blood. Really behind everything there is this. And an example, imagine if behind the leaders of our time, behind the major political leaders, there is a mystery from the Bible, a template of kings and queens, ancient kings and queens, and behind each leader there is a king or a queen or a prototype where that person is in effect an avatar of that, and that this mystery is so precise or so exact. It gives exact times, it gives exact events. Example, it foreshadowed 9/11, not just the event, but the actual date and the actual hour it began. I'll give a quick example. Joe Biden. Okay, there's an ancient king called Jehoram. That's the mystery of Joe Biden. This king was weak king, and during his time, there's a problem with border crossings, unchecked in the time. So Biden. During the reign of Jehoram, Israel is invaded by an enemy, and the invasion begins from what's now the Gaza Strip. They go in, they take Israeli hostages back to the land of Gaza during that reign. Well, the reign of Biden. Towards the end of Jehoram's reign, the issue is the king's physical impairment. He's impaired physically, Biden. At the end of his reign, Jehoram has one son left, the youngest son. His name is Ahaziah. Well, Biden has one son. His name is Hunter. Well, Ahaziah comes from the Hebrew Ahaz, which means to seize. Well, to seize in Old German, you get the word Henten, thus the name Hunter. So even that, I mean, it's wild. It's what has been. It's the mystery of what is and what will be.
You talk about Trump in the book and the template being from King Jehu. I mean, in the list of kings in the Bible, I got to say, had to look up who is he? What did he do? Talk about that.
The mystery. You want to understand Trump. If you understand what's happening now, you got to understand Jehu. That is the prototype behind Trump. Jehu was chosen by God he was wild, he was unpredictable. You never knew what he was going to do or say next. I believe, if they had Twitter back then, I'm sure he'd be on Twitter. And he's the mystery of Trump. Listen to this, Jerry. Remember how Trump began his campaign? He was on a staircase. He came down that staircase. But literally, Jehu is on top of it, begins on top of a staircase, comes down, and begins the race. Jehu makes an alliance with the religious conservatives of Israel. Trump makes an alliance with the religious conservatives of America. In order to come to the throne, Jehu had to contend against and prevail against the nation's former first lady. Well, Trump, same thing, Hillary Clinton. Hillary Clinton was on the political stage, national stage, with her husband for 22 years. On her own, after that, she was in public office, ran for president for a total of 14 years, so 22 and 14. The ancient queen, I don't know if I should name it, the ancient queen and former first lady that that Jehu prevailed against was on the national stage with her husband for 22 years, on her own 14 years. And not only that, it's what's happening now, because what Jehu do when he came to power, he purges the government. What is Trump? That's why what is Trump doing? I'm not saying that Trump knows or it's not about the people, but he's purging the government. Jehu dismantled the house of Ahab and rolled back an agenda that was against God. Well, Jehu was a man of controversy, Trump, but he was used of God. And this mystery gives the exact time when Trump would come to power, how long he will have on the stage, what it all means, where it's all going, and what the future holds.
In keeping with the avatar,
yes.
You have a political person that we shall remain nameless. You got to get the book if you want to know. But that person, you say, was the avatar.
Is very, very primary in it. Yeah. An avatar can also be is particularly linked to a god. Now the book's going to reveal that there's actually a person on the political stage, major person, who is actually linked to a god. It comes from a house that is linked to avatars, was given a name named after this particular god. The life of this one, uncannily follows the mystery of this god. The person was born on the day of that god, when the God is being worshipped, and came into the world when they celebrate that God coming to the world. And it was actually on the birthday of that God that this person was born. Now, I can't here reveal the identity on the air, but of course the book's going to reveal that. And we got to pray. Listen, it's not about people. We got to pray for all people. They don't know what they're doing, but what is the sign? What does it mean for the future of America? Yeah. But it's mind-boggling.
Well, I want to reiterate, you referred to it, but you say clearly in the book that while this template is happening,
yes.
these parallels are happening, the people are not aware.
No, they don't know what they're doing. And they don't know what they're doing. Yeah, we have no enemies. We got to pray for each one, but they don't know, but they're fulfilling it. It's amazing.
So, Jonathan, in the end, you come back to 2 Chronicles.
Yeah.
We as believers are in a place of crisis and choice.
Yes.
What do we do?
Yeah. Well, we've got a window. One of the things that this is revealing, and there's so much we can't get it, even the assassination attempt of Donald Trump.
I know.
There's the priesthood of Israel is actually linked to it, why he touched his ear. But the point is, it's about hope too, because this is revealing we have a window of time. Well, we have been given a window. We've been given a reprieve. We've kind of dodged a bullet. But the window is in between judgment or revival. The only thing that can save America is revival. If we change the government, but we don't change people's hearts, the unchanged hearts are going to change the government back. So we've got a window now to pray for revival as never before, to work for revival, and actually choose to live in revival, because that, if we do, that can literally change America and change the world. Yeah. So this is an amazing time that, all the books ended with hope and what we are to do and what we're to know. So we have a real call and a real charge. That's what it's about.
After all that you saw in this parallel, this comparison, this template, knowing how embedded and how far away from God and the way things used to be when we knew who we were, we knew who he was, we understood right and wrong. How? How do we... It has to be a move of God. It can't be anything we do here.
Yeah, God is not finished. The fact that he's given these windows to us, that means there's hope. If there was no hope, this wouldn't happen.
There'd be no window.
But he does say, if my people. And I've literally seen God change the course of America 3 times, just by that scripture. And so he keeps his word. If my people will humble themselves, seek my face and pray and turn from their evil ways, I'll hear from heaven. I'll forgive their sin. I'll heal their land. God can do it. He's never finished, but we have to rise. We've got a part.
So really the onus is on the believers.
It's on us.
And our values, our hearts, the way we're living, the choices that we're making. I just have to ask you, what goes through your brain? How did God even begin to reveal the parallel of this to you?
It's like it began it's like with a harbinger. I can never reproduce how the things come, and God just does it, and he's never finished. I said, Lord, okay, what do you want me to do? And it just comes, and then it keeps coming. And sometimes when I need the next key, someone will say something, or I'll be in my bed and something will come into my head, and then I look at the internet and it's real. God, I'm thinking, like, God, when are you going to run out? He never runs out, but he's real. This is real. We're in something so big, all of us, so big. I know you, and I'm so glad you read it. We started, but it is really, it's for now, and what do we need to do? So, yeah, God's on the throne. That's what they're saying, and we have to rise.
Yeah. But there is a window, and the window is a warning.
Yeah.
And so I just want to encourage you, if what we've talked about today interests you, Jonathan shares many more amazing insights in his new book. It is called The Avatar, The Return of the Ancients and the Future of America. It's up to us, friends. We need to be aware of these truths. We need to walk. We need to pray. We need to ask God for revival. This, by the way, is available wherever books are sold. Thank you.
Thank you,
Remarkable.
Terry.
Everyone's searching for something. Unfortunately, they're just looking in the wrong places for the right thing.
I think they've had everything the world has to offer and they're done with it.
They're at their wits' end, and this can't just be life as we know it. There's more.
We might even say there's like signs of revival among young people.
Something has been happening on campuses across the nation. You all are a part of a generation that God is sparking revival, and it is spreading